What is going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with some breaking Browns trade news for you guys on this Tuesday afternoon. And yeah, the Browns have indeed made a trade. But that's not the most shocking part of the whole story. It's who they traded. And no, I'm not talking about David Njoku or Jerry Jeudy or Denzel Ward or Greg Newsome or any of those actually like valuable pieces. No, I'm talking about Joe freaking Flacco. As Ian Rappaport tweeted, and I quote, the Bengals are trading for Joe Flacco, per me and at Tom Pelissero. Imagine being down so bad at quarterback that you have to call up a division rival and ask for their old, washed up quarterback. That's not even the funniest part, right? Of course, you all know Dashy, right? Single fan that's on here, always yelling and screaming about his team. Well, if you've paid attention to his videos and his Twitter, yes, he does have a Twitter, right? Um, he's been clamoring for the Bengals to trade for a solid backup quarterback because Jake Browning is a freaking bum. So, he's been advocating for them to trade for Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston or anybody that's solid, right? So, what do? They go and trade for Joe Flacco. Oh my God, dude. Let me tell you something, right? The fact that the Bungles thought, let's go get Joe Flacco. Yeah, have fun with that. But I think the funniest part of this is going to be the crash outs that Dashi's going to do when Joe Flacco is out here throwing meatballs, ducks all over the freaking field. I mean, you mean to tell me the Bungles saw Joe Flacco firsthand against them week one, right? He saw what Joe Flacco was doing. They saw what Joe Flacco was doing. And was like, yes, take it. That's just the funniest part about it. But also, you may be wondering, what did we get in return? If anything, right? Well, Adam Schefter gave us the details of the trade, and I quote, trade. Browns are trading quarterback Joe Flacco and a sixth round pick to the Bungles for a fifth round pick, both in 2026. So essentially, the Browns jump into the fifth round and they swap with the Bungles. Good move, Andrew. And as far as what this does for the Browns at quarterback, well, that just leaves Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, Bailey Zappi, who's on the practice squad, and of course, you know who is still out with that Achilles recovery. But the expectation is he could easily be activated pretty soon. Now imagine, you know who gets activated, comes back, actually plays in a game, and he actually looks good. Oh man, that would be something, right? Browns fans everywhere on social media have essentially been saying that dude is essentially no longer on the roster. They're not going to play him, right? Oh, surely they're not going to play him. Not over the Rockies. But what if they do? And what if he actually looks Good. Ooh, that makes things even more interesting. So you know that's something that they would do, right? Especially if Dylan Gabriel's out here looking good, right? They would do that. They would throw in you know who to start, and then he actually doesn't look half bad. I mean, essentially, the entire fan base has been saying he's essentially not even a part of the team anymore. That would be the most Browns thing ever. Not gonna lie. The fact that the Browns actually got a pick at all for old man Joe Flacco is just a W by Andrew Berry. I mean, if you think about it, he turned Kenny Pickett into a pick, and now Joe Flacco, right? For any Shador stands who are watching this video, yeah, Shador is that much closer to possibly being a starter. But God, that only happens if Dylan Gabriel proceeds to just fall off a cliff, like fight wise. Because if he continues to look like what he did against the Vikings, taking care of the ball, getting the ball downfield to his receivers as long as they catch it, and actually not turning the ball over, he's going to be the starter for the foreseeable future. But then again, we are talking about the Browns, so you never know what's going to happen. Heck, next week we could get a tweet saying Shador Sanders is going to be the starter. You never know. Now, some other things. First, we got this from Tom Pelissero. This is interesting. And I quote Joe Flacco's only win as the Browns QB this season was over the Packers in week 3. Flacco's first game on the Bengals roster will be on Sunday against the Packers. Wow. Okay. And finally, we got this from Adam Schefter. And I quote, a first. This is the first trade between the Browns and Bengals since Cleveland returned to the NFL in 1999. They tried in 2017 when the Bengals attempted to trade quarterback AJ McCarron to the Browns for draft compensation, but the Browns failed to file the paperwork in time. And honestly, I attribute that to Sashi Brown actually having a brain. I believe legend has it that Sashi Brown sabotaged the fax machine and he essentially saved this franchise from even more embarrassment. So yeah, Joe Flacco is now a bungle, and our quarterback room is essentially Dylan Gabriel, Shador Sanders, Bailey Zappi on the practice squad, and you know who. So that's pretty much all I got. And you may be wondering, why didn't I just include this in my preview video? Because I wanted to make an actual video about this, you know, just in case I ran a little long, because this is probably the funniest thing ever. The fact that you know who, Dashy, right? The Bungle fan who's always yelling and screaming on here. He was so adamant about them going out and trading for a suitable backup quarterback, right? He was talking about Jameis and Russell Wilson. And what do? They go and trade for Joe Flacco. So all I'm going to say is enjoy the old man, Dashy. You're going to love him. Oh, the crash outs are going to be glorious. Here for. I got my popcorn ready. I'll see you guys in a little bit with my Browns Steelers game preview. And then, of course, tonight I'll be live for Blue Jays and Yankees, game 3, possibly the clincher for the Blue Jays. Shane Bieber on the mound against Carlos Rodon. Should be a good one. I'll see you guys then. With that being said, I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go, Browns. Screw you, Bungles. Fleeced your ass. Have fun with the old man, Dashy. Like I said. Oh, my camera froze. Just like that. Just me just saluting. All right. For real though, I'm out. Go Browns. Bye bye. Yeah.